And we secured 320,000 from Google. At the moment, we are actually already planning a fundraising, which will open very soon. We're targeting some amount of money to close the round so that we can be able to scale. Because as we speak, we have plans of launching in Ivory Coast in a couple of weeks ahead. For the year, and Senegal, Kenya, and Uganda should be markets where we're present there. So that needs a lot of money as
What about
well. Too.
Nigeria?
Nigeria, we're chilling now. Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Rennie. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. On my channel, I make content about financial literacy, career development, and lifestyle. As many of you know, I became an entrepreneur 2 years ago, but full-time 7 months ago now. And I am so interested in learning about other entrepreneurs and their journey. So I decided to bring one on for you today. This is Minuifuong, and I am in Kigali, Rwanda right now. And we are going to learn more about his business, Bongalo, and how he is becoming Africa's Airbnb. So I'm really excited to speak to him and learn more about his business, his struggles, his challenges, and his successes. He's also a Google-backed company, so I'm really excited to learn more about you and your company. Maybe you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, sure. My name is Minuifuong Nghombombong. I'm originally Cameroonian, now living in Kigali, and I'm the founder of Bongalo, which is a booking platform for African travel accommodation. So basically, we provide a platform where people can book apartments, apartment hotels, as well as rooms, homes in different African cities, currently operating in Cameroon and Rwanda. And people can make bookings on this platform and pay with mobile money wallets, as well as different Visa and MasterCards, as well as we also disburse money through mobile wallets to different hosts across Africa using our disbursement APIs as well.
Nice. And we're currently sitting in one of them, actually. We actually just did a video about showing you the property. So if you want to watch that, you can. And I'll make sure to link it up here. So you told us a bit about your business, but tell us about you. Like, who are you? What do you like? Tell us your history before you became this Bongalo CEO or co-founder.
All right, so basically, I don't know what to say about me, but I'm just a crazy person who is very much crazy about changing things across the society generally. So I love to leave things like a little bit different than they were. So like improving stuff. So I have this, crazy aspect of questioning things, an inquisitive mind, and always trying to see what can be made better of something that maybe already exists, or a situation that is in the, a challenge or a problem that is in society. So I'm always looking at what can be done about it. Purely solution oriented. I'm really much concerned about what can be done. So I come from a background where, we just conventionally focused on getting government jobs, and they're not even, looking around what problems are there in society that could be solved, and then maybe turning this into businesses. So from that background, I wasn't the person who was really much comfortable with that. So I grew up, went to school, and then actually one thing about me is I never went to college until maybe when I was above 26 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I did my education back home in Cameroon. I studied computer engineering, but never completed. Then I went and did business analysis out of Cameroon as well. So I have background in software. I understand software lifecycle and all of that. And I'm more of a business analyst and centric person than just software. So I blend my background in business, marketing, as well as software to be able to come up with something like this, as well as lead a team that could deliver hands-on product. As well as really solid softwares that are able to solve these challenges that we face in society.
Nice. So you are a serial entrepreneur, and you're always trying to make things better than how you saw.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you got what I mean.
Yeah.
Make things better than the way you found them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice. And why did you decide to move to Rwanda? I know Rwanda is becoming a tech hub, and I met a lot of entrepreneurs while I was here. But why Rwanda of all places?
So, I mean, Rwanda was much more strategic for our business. Travel tourism. When I was in Israel in 2016, I was already, looking at Rwanda. And the moment I went back home, I realized that there was, an awesome opportunity here to, invest in try a business out. Basically, the business environment in Rwanda permits you to, get some really good credibility because Rwanda is really clean in terms of corruption, in terms of, infrastructure. They have so many good vibes out there in the media. So if you look at that, and also when you come check the system, things are really regulated. And so it's an environment with, in Africa, we cry out stable electricity, stable water supply, all those infrastructure. So we look at Rwanda, they've sorted all that out. And then when I started the business, and then we pivoted into a booking company in Rwanda, we realized that it could be a great avenue to have a teamwork from here as well, so that we could take advantage of these different amenities that are really available, and the stable economy, stable environment as well, security. So basically Rwanda could, and then also most of the important things that made us to choose Rwanda was the strategic nature of the tourism industry. So people were coming to Rwanda before COVID, and then a lot of people, and then it was like, okay, let's test our concept in Rwanda with people traveling to Rwanda. And then because people could easily book properties on our platform if they were coming to Rwanda because they could trust, other than other African markets where they were very skeptical, there's a lot of fraud. So we wanted to create that credibility here and then quickly sell it to other places. Because think about it, when you want to come to Rwanda, you hear Bongalo, you try it out, you book, you come meet the right property, and then you stay there. You know about it now. So if we launch in your market, you could easily adopt it or tell people around you that, I actually used it in Rwanda. Because first of all, you believe Rwanda, and then you now believe what is being sold in that market. So that's what we tried to do, and it actually did work well for us because we got some good bookings until COVID came, and then things went down a little bit, and then it's kind of picking up now as well.
So I always like to say the good and the bad. So I guess COVID obviously was bad for your business.
Terrible.
But how did you tell us what happened when COVID hit?
Basically, it wasn't that. Looking back, actually, when COVID hit, our determination weren't tamed. So we were still determined to do what we wanted to do because, okay, little backstory. We took off really fast in October 2019, starting off with a revenue of averagely $3,000 a month, which was good for a young startup that we never had the platform yet. We were just, doing regular operations and all that. So when COVID came, all of that went down. So we stayed like 5 months of no revenue until we launched in Cameroon in September 2020. When Rwanda opened its doors and I could travel to Cameroon, and then we could launch the booking platform there. We started making small revenues again. So COVID was really terrible. But the time of COVID, this is what we did. We tried to look at the positive side of it. So we assembled ourselves and we only focused on building the technology. So a greater part of the technology, like the very first product was built during COVID, because right from January, and we launched in July 2020. So there was that entire time we all sat together. I remember it was a great thing that back then I had this guy from Liberia, one Nigerian who was leading the CTO by then, and then there was another guy from Congo DRC. So basically we sat most of the time, we were meeting at my place, and then we were working on the software. So it was an amazing time. We spent that whole time building the technology, doing all the APIs work and all that. So on the good side we did that, but on the bad side we went down in business as well as not getting revenue. So that was COVID for us.
Okay, it's like it was a negative situation, but you kind of made it into a positive, right?
Absolutely.
But okay, that's good to know. I think because now that I'm an entrepreneur, I know that some months will be very high in revenue, some months will be very low in revenue. So I feel you. But what makes Bongalo different than Airbnb or Booking.com? Like, why should someone choose Bongalo over those platforms?
That's a very interesting question. A lot of people ask that. I didn't know why I didn't start with that question already, because that's basically what everyone wants to know, which is a good thing. So number one, we're African, purely African, focused on the African market. So we're not looking yet at expanding to any other continent, but we just want to focus on Africa. And why do we do that? We do that because, first of all, there used to be a lot of wars on the African continent before, and also there used to be a lot of border closures, which are preventing different citizens from crossing borders to other places when they want to travel or something of the sort. And then the most important part being that travel was termed expensive when anyone thinks about it, because it's just about hotels. And then hotels are expensive. An average traveler shouldn't go stay at a hotel. So now, why do we exist in Africa to begin with? So border closures is getting solved right now. Like a lot of, there are trade zones that are, or trade blocks that are opening up their borders to different countries. Look at the EAC. If you have a residence in Rwanda, for example, you could go to Tanzania, you could go to Kenya, Uganda with just an interstate pass. You don't need a visa. So that's a good thing. So you see that is supporting the fact that the border closures things are going off. And then the part of expensive nature of travel, that is not entirely solved. So what we're doing now is connecting people to affordable places to stay. An apartment like this one costs $150. That's the price of a standard hotel room in a 5-star hotel. But then this is a 3-bedroom apartment with all the amenities. You live like you're home. You have everything that you want.
6 people can stay here. If you split 150 by 6 people.
Exactly. Now you get the whole concept. So now that's why we exist. And then how exactly we different is, even with all of these things provided, our competitors have, they don't focus on the African market. I just always remember the CEO of Airbnb mentioning that the African market, the entire African market is smaller than just Paris market to Airbnb.
The whole African
the whole of African market is that it gets less revenue than they get from Paris alone. So I see that, like, I don't want to say it's an insult, but also I look at it from the perspective that it's because they don't know the value that is in the African market. And then it's not also there because travel is not being sold to people that much. So with those guys, they exist. However, people can book on Airbnb, people can book on other platforms, but how do hosts get paid? Limited payment methods for hosts to accept payments from those platforms, because as a two-way platform where you collect money here, you keep here, and then you disburse to the other person, you need to have a way of having that flow go swiftly. And in Africa at the moment, you see that the most penetrated solution for payments is mobile money. So everyone knows Momo across Africa, very much penetrated. So we use mobile money on our platform. So we collect payments already from at least 12 African countries, and we can as well disburse money to different hosts across those African countries if they just have a phone number that has a mobile money account. So that is how we're different from Airbnb, in the sense that we can collect payments easily from travelers, as well as we can disburse payments easily to hosts who put properties on the platform. Aside local bank transfers in countries where we are present legally, and we can, we have our bank accounts, we can make transfers easily, and those are, within days. No charges, no cost in those transfers and all that, and that is kind of, they get like the exact amount that they're supposed to get from us.
Good.
So that's really much a value that we're selling to these people, as well as we also see ourselves as a company that is, trying to grow the African economy. So where we work, we employ staff, we spend on operations and all that. So we're also trying to, support the African economy to grow as well. And these are also things that make us very much different from Airbnb. They're based in California, in the US, and they don't have staff in Africa, or maybe here in Rwanda, for example. But then we do. And
they're not really focused on Africa.
Exactly. So we're just African-focused company with, payment solutions that fit the African market and actually should be taken advantage of as well. Aside that, we also have, we're introducing agency bookings where you can book properties through different vetted agents that we work with. So you can think of it like booking a flight ticket. So you go to agencies, you say, hey, I'm flying to, Lagos tomorrow. Can you get me a flight ticket? The same thing. You say, okay, you're going to Lagos. Where are you going to stay? Say, I'm still thinking of what hotels. No, you don't need to book a hotel. Let's book, an apartment for you. And then you go on Bongalo. You get the person an apartment there. That's our agent doing the job. So Airbnb doesn't have that as well. We also have recommended, services for our different travelers. So once travelers, most of the time we've seen a lot of requests for people who want to go somewhere. They reach out to us and say, can you get me an apartment in this particular place? I'm traveling here for this length of time, and I'm going to be having a conference, or I'm going to be, being at this place. So my location is this. Can you get me a property that is this, all those different details. And then you send recommendations to them. Most of the time, the people that we recommend properties to them, they book the particular ones. They're really amazed about it. They love it. it. So we've had guests, so many guests who make those requests, and they end up really loving the property. So we provide that service of, making customized recommendations for our different travelers, and we actually see that scaling as well. So Airbnb doesn't do that, or our competitors generally don't do that. So those are some of the things that we try to be different.
Lots of competitive advantages.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also want to know, how many properties do you currently have on the platform? Like, do you have that scale that other platforms have? How does that work?
No, when it comes to scale, we can put ourselves side by side with the big guys just yet. I mean, they've been there for over 14 years, and we just way less than 3 years. So, I mean, that's not an excuse. We're working hard to also, write those numbers as well. And remember, they are across the entire world. So as well as we just focus, right now we're just in 2 countries. So our property counts are, I think it's slightly a little bit above 1,500 in both countries. And we're in, I think, 12 cities now, 12 different locations. In Cameroon, I think we're in like 8 different locations. And in Rwanda, we're in like 4. Okay.
So if somebody is a host who has a house, who is watching and wants to maybe rent out a room in their apartment or the entire place, would they be able to with Bongalo?
Yeah, absolutely. They'll do that. They just need to create an account, be ready with the pictures of the property, and then write a few descriptions. The steps are quite easy. I promise you, it takes like maximum 3 minutes to get listed with a good Wi-Fi. You can get your property uploaded on Bongalo. And then for those properties that we don't go to see, we always, do background verifications on them before we approve it on the platform.
Okay.
So when
that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, because I can tell you now that 99% of the properties on our platform, we actually know the properties. We've probably sent an agent there, because the method that we do to get properties is that we recruit agents, train them, and then send them to the field to go talk to hosts and then help them to upload their property. So obviously they go there and then they get to see these places, and then before they put it up, they actually know it exists, met the host and stuff like that. So that's also an advantage against our guys as well.
That's good. So how has your startup journey been? Like, are there any, other than COVID, obviously, are there any other struggles that you have faced starting up?
Of course, I mean, it's very common to have struggles as and as an entrepreneur and a startup founder as well. So it begins with, first of all, access to funding on the African continent, because a lot of things that we do, we need lots of money to carry on. So we don't have enough funding. We struggle with funding before. Until we got funded, and then we're looking to raise more money as well. Those are some struggles. Another part of it is, good talent. So on the continent, I don't know, but especially when you don't have enough money, you don't get like very solid people who understand things quite quickly and then can really buy the vision and drive with you as well. So talent is a bit scarce, especially when in the startup stage. So, and then people, the regular thing across the continent is, hey, just want my 9-to-5 job, have my secured life. No one wants to take the risk, because first of all, there's a lot of poverty in the sense that funds are mismanaged everywhere, government, I don't want to go into that. But then, so people, first of all, just want to survive. So buying a dream, and then just working there, or, getting paid small money, a lot of people don't want to do that, especially people who feel like they can get more. So talent, it's a big problem. And as well as, so we also try to educate the market, because there is this also part of, ethnocentricity. Talking about people, or maybe look at it like superiority complex. People always think that, hey, because it's from the West, it's the best. So we need to educate them that, we're legit, we're not some business that want to steal your money or whatever. And then so that aspect, because we're now dealing with the part that people pay money on our platform. So we now have to struggle to build brand credibility. It's really hard.
I can imagine.
In the early stages, trying to get people, until when like big media houses are featuring you and all that, and you get some credibility.
And now you have been on CBC.
Yes, BBC.
Oh, sorry, BBC.
BBC, Quartz Africa. Microsoft News.
So I'm sure that's helping.
Forbes Travel.
That helps with
there's so many. Even CNN as well. They're writing about us, and so many other places as well. Yeah.
And you mentioned funding, so I was going to ask, you have secured some funding. How did that go about? If any, how did that go about?
I mean, we secured 320,000 from Google.
Nice.
but as well, I mean, not all in cash. So, but then that's more money, literally based on looking at what we need to do. So, at the moment, we are actually already planning a fundraising, which will open very soon. We're targeting some amount of money to close the round so that we can be able to scale. Because as we speak, we have plans of launching in Ivory Coast in a couple of weeks ahead.
Oh, nice.
And also Senegal before the year end. Senegal, Kenya, and Uganda should be markets where we're present there. So that needs a lot of money as
What about
well
Nigeria?
too. Nigeria, we're chilling for now. Yeah, we're coming
Soon, one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we still need funding, but as you know, we need to make sure that we get enough funding to go to these different markets to do the very necessary things that require us to be done, so that we can tap into those markets. So funding, we still need a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, don't we all? We all need a lot of funding.
Exactly.
And then you also mentioned talent. So when it comes to talent, so my question was, do you have a team? But obviously you do. So how have you been able to find good talent?
My team, I think I have 3 Nigerians at the moment. Yeah, on the team.
Wow. Best employees ever,
of
right?
course. I mean, that's super. I mean, what's the difference between Nigeria and Cameroon, especially the Cameroon English part? So it's the same, basically.
If you say
so. So yeah, it's to find the good ones. We take time. It takes a lot of time. You need to communicate the vision more to people. So let them see the big picture.
Yeah.
Know that someday this is something that is, and then also see if they align with it. Like, is it something that their personal career goals fit into it, or do they have the love? Because we start with the fact that we try to open up travel opportunities for people on the African continent. Do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Do you like traveling? Do you want to see people travel more? Why do people travel? Because our goal is, when you travel, you get to connect, you get to meet new people, learn new things, and then it opens your knowledge, and then that's how much we can continue to grow. So you want to do this, all of that details, and then coming to the point where, do you have actually the competencies that we're looking for? And then we can onboard you. There are some people who are just passionate about what we do. They don't have maybe the competence, and then we love to have those ones as well. So we can be able to groom them into really becoming the awesome, competent people that we hope to have. So I think training most times as well get to keep you with good people. Yeah.
So I have a lot of entrepreneurs who watch my channel, or aspiring entrepreneurs. I know that you are a serial entrepreneur. So tell me, what is your advice for people who want to become an entrepreneur? Should they even do it? Because sometimes I'm like, this is a lot of...
No, to begin with, I always say you don't have to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
There is no ultimate reason like you must be an entrepreneur. No, you don't have to be. But if you must be, if you really want to be, then I have a few lines that I always tell people, because I get asked this question most of the time. I think I am in a really great position to tell people, because my journey has never been straight. And then what's up, because I have to build everything from scratch. It's not like I was born in a rich home where, just get money and then a lot of things were just available for you. No, I have to create things for myself first. First of all, feed myself, clothe, and then, pay bills and all that before trying to chase a business, which doesn't happen literally.
Yeah.
But people basically have all those. And in Africa, it's worse off because, you have to fight for those things first before you try to build a business. But in the West, maybe a few of those things are taken care of.
For sure.
Yeah. So number one thing, I always think that if you check the background of the greatest entrepreneurs in the world, okay, you hear myth like, hey, he dropped out of school and all that. Yeah, they did. Yeah, but what kind of school? That's the question.
Yeah, Harvard.
If you drop out of Harvard, you're probably going to, you're probably one of the best university students on the continent. So yeah, get quality education if you can. And then, build a lot of networks, because, in school you build networks, you save money. Okay, you can work somewhere, get some experience. It's very necessary. Understand processes, operations in different companies, because, everything is just relative. But then the processes are related. And then you need that to kind of set up the structure of your own business someday. And it's intrinsically natural that once you're doing most of those things, that you get to recall them easily the next time you get into something like that. So work somewhere, get some experience, build networks, save some money. The money is going to help you tomorrow to feed yourself while you put focus on your business, because your business is not going to make money for you in the early days. And then also you need to put money rather in your business in the early days. A lot of investors don't put money in you if you haven't put in your own money as well. So you need that money. And then, you know, you can start your business then. It's very important to, you know, tick these different points. Get good education, you know, get some work experience, save money, you know, build networks. These people, they can become your employees, your investors, or your partners, you know, that you work with, or your first customers tomorrow. So it's very necessary. If it's possible, you should go through this kind of process. But it's not a straight line. It doesn't have to work for you, absolutely. But I mean, it's just some tips that could be useful.
Yeah, they're very helpful tips, actually.
To, you know, help you to, you know, be potentially successful with your business.
Well, thank you so much for all this advice. It was very helpful. If you want to plug Bongalo one more time, so the people, if they want to patronize you or learn more about you.
We're sitting at Noskin in Kigali. If you want to, you know, pass by our office and say hi, but don't, you know, don't hesitate to go on to www.bongalo.com, and then you can find properties in Cameroon and Rwanda in most cities and book properties directly. Or you can always write us on our channels, on WhatsApp, or, you know, emails, and we'll be happy to help you to get to book properties as well. If you have a property, if you're watching and you have a property and you want to list it on Bongalo, we are happy to have you as a host. And you get paid directly to your mobile wallet if you're on the continent, or you get paid to your bank account directly. No extra fees on, you know, exchange or whatever. Nice. So we'll be happy to have you join us to build this, you know, African dream, basically.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate you for taking your time to watch. I will leave all that information in the description box below. If you have any questions for him, or if you want to learn more, make sure to just leave those comments below. And if you like these kind of videos, also comment below. Let me know who else you want me to interview, and I'll try and get them on my channel. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.